Hello, and welcome to Of the People. Thanks for joining us. What real leadership looks like. In the early stages of the American Revolution, then General George Washington suffered defeat after defeat at the hands of the British, most notably the Battle of New York, then the Battle of Philadelphia, only to be followed up with the endurance that they had to put up with at Valley Forge for the brutal winter that they had to endure. Ultimately, however, to go on to victory at Yorktown against General Cornwallis. So real leadership is about many things. Most of all, it's about character. It's about keeping your word or saying what you're going to do and then do what you say. And it's also about forging ahead in the face of hostilities or adversaries to achieve the goal you need to. Looking around in today's world, where is an example of leadership? And the only thing I can see right now and come up with is actually in the Southern Hemisphere, in South America, in Argentina, who in November elected President Javier Milei, who was an economist. He was billed as, or he was, they were saying he was going to be a tyrant. He's going to trash the economy. I don't know how you could trash the economy in Argentina more than what he inherited. Right? And then he was going to be or Argentina's version of Donald Trump. He gets elected. What ends up happening? And he's a radical, of course. He produces these radical reforms, and in 4 months, turns around an economy that has been moribund and just really the laughingstock of South America, which was once the economic engine of South America, in a mere 4 months. What were these radical reforms? Let's see. Privatization of industry, cutting federal regulation, promoting entrepreneurship, and most of all, the most radical idea of all is he cut government spending. Now, that is radical, don't you think? The result of all of this is that in 4 months, in January, he produces a budget surplus, balances the budget, produces a budget surplus for the first time since 2008. They have a budget surplus for the first, not only January, but 4 quarters. And he also devalued the currency. Let's not forget about that. Very radical, of course. And then inflation drops from triple digits to 8.8%. Because being fiscally responsible as a leader is what real leadership starts with. You live within your means. As we talked about it, if you or I overspend, no one's bailing us out unless, of course, you have a student loan, in which case you can apply for a student loan bailout. But contrast the leadership, the radical leadership, because he balanced the budget and cut spending, the radical leadership in Argentina versus the tried and true and trusted leadership we have in this country. And let's see what the numbers are. The U.S. debt stands at $34 trillion. That means we have spent $34 trillion more than we can pay off. And the U.S. deficit spending, which means how much more we're spending on a yearly basis versus what we take in, is $1.7 trillion in 2023. And we have already documented how under the former Obama administration and now the Biden administration, words and deeds do not align. They'll say one thing, they'll do another as long as it meets these ideological goals. So come November, maybe we need a radical revolution like they had in Argentina. And maybe we need to find a figure similar to Javier Milei in this upcoming election. And to all of you who are listening, I wonder who that might be. If you have any ideas, let me know about it. But real leadership is what we need in this country, and real leadership is not what we have. And I think most of America is starting to understand that. Let's see what happens in November.